Okay, everybody, hello and welcome to the presentation. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you on Facebook, for YouTube and Twitter, we are brand new, by the way. I think we're on Rumble if I did it right. If I push the buttons right, I don't know the first time I've done it. And now, hello to you guys on Spreaker, and of course, hello to you guys on TikTok. So, boy, this is the first time I have ran the show on Rumble. You know what I should do before we start the show? I need to go on Rumble and see if I've even done it right. People keep telling me that I need to have, a backup plan for TikTok because we don't know. We just simply don't know. And it's one of those things that, hopefully we don't have to worry about it. But content. Oh, it does say it's live. Oh, that's very cool. So if we push this button, let's see what it does. Oh, hopefully we don't have to worry about it. But be quiet. So apparently Rumble is working. Well, look at that, everybody. We are live on Rumble, and I didn't cause anything to blow up. All right, yeah, it's working. It's exciting. It's exciting. I think I did it right. All right, everybody. I'm Bishop James Long, and I want to thank you for being here with us on this beautiful Saturday evening. It was absolutely beautiful in Kentucky. The weather. Well, thank you, Ellie. The weather was just immaculate. I went out for my walk. That was just wonderful. Boy, that was beautiful, beautiful weather out there. But of course, now listen to this, everybody. This is why people are getting so sick. Listen to this. So weather, I think it was 75 degrees outside today. 75. I mean, just gorgeous. It was probably just an amazingly beautiful day. So it's 75 right now. Tomorrow, it's going to be 78. Only a 40% chance of rain. But on Wednesday, the high is 48 degrees with a possibility of snow showers. Okay, Mother Nature, Ms. Wilma doesn't like that. But Mother Nature, whoever you are, whatever you are, can you please make up your mind? Seriously, make up your mind. Either we're going to be nice and warm and comfortable, or we're going to remain cold. But it's 78 degrees tomorrow. And then Wednesday, the high, 48 degrees. Folks, I'm not great in math because I'm naturally blind, but I believe that's a 30-degree temperature with, of course, the possibility of snow showers on next Wednesday. I don't understand. I do not understand that. It drives me absolutely in. Here we go. Well. Looky there. How you doing there, Miss Wilma? Yep. You know what she is, everybody? She is crazy. She was. Hello, Miss Wilma. How you doing?
Hi, Bishop Long, and hi, everyone. Hope everybody's having a great night tonight.
Well, we are. And by the way, okay, so before we jump into this, let me just say this very quickly. For those of you on TikTok, I'm going to put subscriber chat only on for the first 30 minutes. And then afterwards, I'll open it up and we'll talk about your demonology and paranormal. Miss Wilma doesn't like paranormal and demonology. It scares her. So for the first half an hour, it's going to be Miss Wilma and I. We're just going to goof off, have a good time, put a smile on your face. But if you want to join us, if you want to subscribe to chat with us for the first hour, you certainly can. So if not, you don't have to. So I'm going to put sub chat only. So now we have Miss Wilma on, and I want to apologize before. Well, thank you, Ellie. Thank you for the galaxy. It's beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, Miss Wilma, how are you doing?
Hanging in there, like everybody else, I guess,
Yeah, you're setting something up. I know you are.
Yeah, I do want to say,
yep,
for the ones that was on last night, and when I thought Bishop Long did the sheep noise.
Yes, very good.
About that.
Yeah.
He asked me to turn it on to watch, and he did the sound on his cell phone. So it wasn't really him making the sound as the sheep. It was his cell phone.
Well, Miss Wilma. No, wait, I did push the buttons really, really great.
Yes,
so
you did push that button. Yeah, I thought, oh my gosh, you did a great job. And I'm like, you did.
I did a fantastic job. I pushed the buttons, and so what do you mean? I did.
I can't believe you did that. So I was bragging. on your beach belong, thinking, "Oh, woohoo, go! That was a great job." And I was doing that, and you did the actual sound on the cell phone. That's all good though.
Yeah, I pushed that button like a champ. Like you push my buttons.
Yeah.
Like you push my buttons, so I decided to get even, Steven, and that's exactly what I did.
Oh, I never push your buttons.
Oh, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what, little Toots. So what are you doing? How have you been this? Of course, we've been really busy this entire week with the Holy Week. We've been on Monday through Friday.
Yeah, and I love
every day.
that. I really enjoyed that, teaching the children, and I really, really enjoyed the Holy Week this week.
And of course,
that was fun.
And
I love that.
And tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's a big day for Easter, and Miss
Easter.
And Miss Wilma is going to eat all the chocolate she can get her hands on.
No, actually, I didn't get no bunny this year.
You didn't get a bunny this year?
I usually get a chocolate bunny, but I don't know. I didn't get no bunny this year for some reason.
Because it's not Easter yet. The Easter's tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but I usually get it and say it's for Easter, but this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be the first Easter that I actually missed an Easter bunny. I don't know why, but I was thinking. Well, that day I went to Walmart. I got smacked in the ear, so I just really was thinking at that time.
Yeah.
All I want to do is get home.
Well, we're glad that you're here with us, and we're glad that you're in a rare crazy. Well, not rare. That's not rare crazy. You're always in a crazy mood, but you're in a good.
I do have a joke.
Oh, you do? Well, that's just so wonderful. We can't wait to hear
them. I put a smile on everybody's face because we have so much stress out there. You know.
Yeah, but you said you're going to put a smile on people's faces, but you're going to tell jokes. That's not going to put a smile on everyone.
I'll tell you. Go.
All right, here we go.
Did you hear about the poor Easter bunny? He had to wear a hat.
Okay, why?
He had a bad hair day. Get it? Hair. You know me, and I ain't got no yet.
That's the problem. You just started. Hello, folks on TikTok and everybody else. I'm going to apologize firsthand for the torture that you're about to endure.
I had an accident.
You had a what?
I had an accident. I rubbed ketchup in my eyes, and now I got hindsight.
No, already. That's number 3. No, that's number 2. That's number 2. No, that is number. No.
Hindsight.
You're going to strike out here in just a second. You just started. Man.
Did you know that eggs has a favorite sport? That they do. They love their favorite sport. Running.
Oh man.
Where's all the drum beats? That was a good one.
Okay, Miss Wilma. Now, Catherine is in Facebook, and she says it was my older brother's birthday today. He's 40 years old. So, they had a party for him. So now look. So I want you to tell a home run joke for Catherine's older brother who had his 40th birthday. All right.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, no, you're not going to get out of this one. You got to tell a whole
birthday. Okay, here we go.
A home run joke. A home run joke for Catherine's brother. All right, here we go.
Did you know chicks like to make cakes?
No, did you know chicks likes to make cakes?
No,
I didn't know that.
The chicks like to make cakes. They make it from scratch.
I'm sorry, Catherine. I'm sorry. I am very. No, she did not like that one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Catherine. I'm sorry.
No, she didn't. She didn't say she didn't like it. I'm the one who said she didn't like it.
Oh, what happened? Did you like it, honey?
No, she's not. She's going to say absolutely no. And there's a lot of people who've had their birthday today. Well, that's pretty cool. That's really, really cool.
It is. Happy birthday to all of you out there from Miss Wilma and from Beach Blonde.
Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that. Hold on. I'm going to make my sheep sound. Here we go. Thank you. That's my sheep.
That's not you. you.
Yeah, it
I
is.
know you're doing a cell phone again.
I'm not on my cell phone. No, I'm not on my cell phone. I just did
Well,
that.
you're on something, but that wasn't you. That was a background.
You're just trying to take everything away from me. I really practiced that.
Okay, that sounded okay. That was good if you did it, but I don't think that you did it.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to my friend. Happy birthday to you.
There you go.
And many more. Well, I just said it in the roller.
Hold on, I'm drinking.
Did you hear about the rabbits got married?
You're interrupting my drink. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I had to get some water. I was dehydrated on that one. Yeah, what? Do what? What?
I dehydrated you. I know.
You dehydrated me on that joke, big time. I needed some water, otherwise I was going to pass out right there, right there.
Oh, did you hear about the two rabbits getting married?
The two rabbits getting married. This is a family-friendly show, so tell us all about this two rabbits.
I don't expect. I've always family.
I mean, you know
that they went under bunny moon. Get it, bunny moon?
No.
Did you like that one, sweetheart?
No, she didn't like that one. I have a joke for everybody. What's crazy, kooky, and loony? Miss Wilma doing the dance on her little cart when she drives right there to Walmart. She drives to Walmart while her Walmart boyfriends is saying, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" That's what Miss Wilma's doing. Yeah, we've already talked about that.
I gotta give you one more.
Oh, please tell us.
Did you hear about did you hear about the rabbit?
The what?
Did you hear about the rabbit proposing to his girlfriend?
No, tell us all about the rabbit.
He gave her a 24-karat ring. That was a good one. He gave her 24. Oh, come on.
Okay. No, absolutely not. No. You're
okay. Are you ready for my stories now?
Yeah, let's please tell your story. We'd love to hear that one.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay.
In Texas.
Yep.
Police said a man got on a plane using a photo on another man's passport.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he faces a felony charge of being a stowaway on an aircraft, trying to sneak on aboard the flight.
Well, that's kind of crazy.
Somebody else's passport just to get on the airplane.
Yeah, and it's a federal offense too. Not very bright.
Yeah, he got a felony.
Yeah, that's a big
felony charge.
Sure, and it's rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Well, the firefighters in Florida said they came to a rescue of a tree trimmer who was stuck in the bucket for 30 feet high in the air while trimming branches. When they stuck in it, they had to take another bucket. The firefighters did to bring him down, but he got down safely.
Wow!
Can you imagine getting stuck in a bucket 30 feet high? And, oh my stars, I'd be scared today.
Well, let me tell a story because I think it's important for everybody to know. And of course, your stories are very, very good, but everybody is talking about this eclipse. And let me just say a little bit about that because I want to share something. So there's going to be a total solar eclipse on April the 8th in 2024. So it's coming here just a few days from now. And here's what people are doing. All over social media, they're going on and they're scaring the hell out of everybody. They're saying, oh my gosh, this is the second coming, or this is the rapture, or we'll be taken up. And it's all prophesized. Let me just say this to everybody. Let me clear this up so that everybody can hear. Please listen to me carefully. All these people going on social media saying this, they have no training at all in theology. That's number one. I'm not trying to be mean, but they don't. And they just do this to scare you. So some say it's going to fulfill a 2,000-year-old prophecy, this total solar eclipse. Many people are spreading false lies that the eclipse will pass through 8 towns called Nineveh. That's not true. No matter how many maps people pull up, folks, this is the truth. They will pass through 2 towns called Nineveh. One is in Indiana and one is in Ohio, not 8. And then some people say, well, it's going to take under the constellation Cetus. Again, folks, this is not true. It is purposeful misinformation. I'm a space nerd. The constellation Cetus, it's visible through September through January, and the constellation reaches its highest point in the sky at 10 p.m. in early November. And then they say, well, it fulfills prophecy in Matthew chapter 16, verse 4, where Jesus said, the wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and no sign shall be given to it except the sign of the prophet, after the prophet of Jonah. Again, this has nothing to do with the eclipse. Jesus is comparing the death that he's going to experience that Jonah experienced in the whale. Jonah remained in the whale for 3 days until he was freed, and Jesus will rise in 3 days after his crucifixion. And so Jesus is saying that the sign that people should look for is his resurrection. It has nothing to do with the eclipse. People are sensationalizing this to scare people and to make you believe that the end times is about to happen. Folks, they're doing this for one reason, and that is they're getting, well, actually 2 reasons. They're getting likes, the views, and they're selling something to scare you. Look, a lot of people believe the end of the church age can occur at any time. I believe that too. But here's what I can tell you. The whole the eclipse situation is blown way out of proportion, because here's what's going to happen. The moon will come in between the earth and the sun, and it will eventually move out of the way. And we will not hear the trumpets of the angels blaring. We're not going to see the second coming of Christ because of the eclipse. I've been teaching Revelation for a long time. I can assure you that the moon will pass by and continue its circulation around the sun, and we're going to remain right here on earth. All these people going online trying to scare you, here's the problem. They're not one time are they going to come online and apologize for spreading misinformation, that's scaring you about the solar eclipse. But here's what they will do, and I promise you this is what they will do. They're going to find another event. They're going to try to make that the end of the world. They're going to run online, try to scare everybody by spreading more purposeful misinformation just so they can get likes and follows. So what I'm going to do on April the 8th, 2024 is I'm going to have my glasses. I'm going to have my glasses on. I can't see anything, but I'm going to have my glasses on, and I'm going to watch the solar eclipse. And then it's going to move out of the way. So please stop with the hysteria. It is preposterous. Sorry, that's my soapbox. Okay, Miss Woman.
You know, in the Bible, it says nobody knows the end of time.
Right.
Even the angels in heaven knows. So I don't know where they think that they know, because they can't. When the angels don't even know, nobody don't.
Yep.
So now we had that eclipse before, because you and I actually got together and we had those glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And that, remember how it got, we had those glasses and it was like dark.
And it's going to be like that again. But everybody, and they said the same thing then, folks, that when we had another eclipse, and they said the same thing. Oh, it's the end of the world. It's prophecy. And guess what happened? The moon got out of the way, and here we are. And that's exactly what's going to happen with this total solar eclipse. The moon is going to move, and then all these people who love to scare people, because that's what they love to do. Let me tell you something. Someone actually contacted me, and they say, hey, Bishop Long, why don't we go live together? And you talk about, because you teach Revelation, and you talk about how this solar eclipse is a sign from God. He said, do you realize we're going to have thousands and thousands of people watching your live? And I said, yes. And also you're going to have thousands and thousands of people being scared just so that you can get likes, and I can get likes, and we can get gifts. I'm not doing that. Don't contact me anymore. So seriously, that's all this is. It is pure scare tactic. That's all it is, folks. Don't follow it. Don't believe it. Just walk away from it.
Yeah, it's easy to, we went through that before. And a long, long time ago, actually, somebody, well, not somebody, but a lot of people killed themselves because they thought it was actually going to be the end of time. So they ended themselves. They killed themselves. They ended it themselves.
Right. That's crazy. All right. Well, let's talk about. Did you have any other topics you want or
Okay. In Louisiana,
yeah,
a farmer, he was had a rare calf, was born with 2 faces.
Mm.
The farmer said the calf is doing okay, making a slow progress, lifting her head, but is holding it up more and more as she's getting stronger. Right now, they have to bottle feed her because she can't lift her little head up, for the mom to feed her. So,
wow.
but yeah, several things point to say it's very rare for that to happen.
Wow. That's, and in some countries, animals that are born like that are actually considered even gods and they're honored. In some countries, they're just kind of discarded. They're like, well, they're no good. It's interesting how some countries will see these things as amazing, and other it's like, oh well, I can't use that animal, so I'm gonna discard it. So it's interesting. All right, what else you got, Miss Wilma?
Wow, 2 women in Florida was trying for the world's record, driving 500 miles down the state coast in a toy car. It took them 2 months. Said they had toy cars since they was little and always wanted to do this. They're raising money for an animal shelter.
Oh wow, that's kind of nice.
This is what. Yeah, they're going 500 miles. It's going to take 2 months. But in toy cars.
Wow.
I thought that's pretty neat. I really love that.
I like that as well. That's pretty cool. That's kind of neat.
And too, they're raising money for animal shelter, clinics and stuff. That's I love that. But I can't imagine. I mean, these little toy cars. Some of them are really small.
Yeah.
But these are grown women, 20 and 21, and bless their hearts, but they're determined to do it. They showed a picture. They had on their little backpacks and just getting in the car. And some people was walking by them as they was driving.
That is crazy.
They don't go very fast. But yeah, they had several people just walking behind them.
Man, well, I mean, I think that's wonderful that they're doing that for a great cause. Go girls, you go. That's it. Girl power.
That's right.
Girl power, Miss Wilma.
Yeah, good power. Now, I love this story.
Okay.
Children grows up too fast anyway, to me. I mean, it's hard to believe that my youngest that I base it for is not 29 now. It's like, oh, my stars. I feel like I'm old. But they wanted that magic tail moment. It's a 7-year-old girl. She has asked the Los Angeles Animal Control for a license and approval. If she finds a unicorn, if she can keep it. So David Bingo, he's a reporter. He went to go see this little girl, and he asked her, said, "What makes this unicorn so special?" She told him the unicorn's magical horn. It's great. It grants you magic wishes if you ask. Magic purple butterflies, she said. And she wanted to go to Scotland to find one. And her mom and them are planning a trip to go to Scotland for this little girl to see if she can find one. This man said when she came to ask one for one, all of them, and they're really encouraging and supporting her.
Oh,
they're all really supporting her, and since she is getting ready to go to Scotland, but she went and got licensed, and when she found one, she's going to bring it home.
Well, there we go.
I just love that. That's just when I read that, it brought tears to my eyes because it's just so beautiful story.
Yeah.
that she had.
All right. And you love the Titanic, don't you, Miss Wilma? I love the Titanic.
I love the Titanic. Oh, my stars, I cried.
Listen to this, everybody.
I went to go see.
Hold on. Let me tell you the thing first, and then we'll hear your story. Because I want to share this with you because this is pretty cool. This is by Ben Hooper. A buyer shelled out $718,750 for one of the most controversial wooden planks in cinematic history, the door frame panel that saved Rose's life in the 1997 film Titanic. Heritage Auctions announced the ornate piece of wood sold as part of a Planet Hollywood movie memorabilia auction. It fetched the ship-sinking sum after numerous bids. Now, the prop, this is not actually from the Titanic. It's a prop from the movie, made from balsa wood, was based on the most famous complete piece of debris, the salvage from the real shrinking of the Titanic in 1912, the auction house said. Often mistakenly referred to as a door, the ornate structure was in reality part of the door frame, just above the first-class lounge entrance. Now, this is a prop from the movie. And Miss Wilma, can you mute your microphone? It's really loud. Because I'm having a bad feedback. Miss Wilma?
Yes.
Can you mute yourself real quick? Because it's really loud. Whatever you're doing, it's really
okay.
So if you could just mute real quick. So this is this is a prop from the movie. $700,000. This isn't even the real thing. So I mean, this again, it's pretty. I mean, it would be pretty neat to have. But can you imagine having that much money, $718,000 for a prop that was used in the movie? It's not the real door. I just don't understand that. But I don't know. Would you pay $718,000, Miss Wilma?
That's a lot, but it's going to be beautiful though when it's done.
No, it's the door that they used in the movie where, remember at the very end where she got on top of it and Jack was trying to get on top of it and he couldn't. So that,
he cut that. Yeah,
it's the movie prop. It's what they used in the movie. It's not even real. It's not even from the real Titanic. And someone paid $718,000.
Oh my star, that's so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to go watch that Titanic in the 3D.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like you could just reach out and grab a glass, and when it was raining, oh my stars, it looked like you were in the rain.
Crazy, isn't it?
It was beautiful about the 3D made it so close up to you.
It
was beautiful.
Desiree, yes. Desiree is asking, are we allowed to send you mail to send Miss Wilma a letter and coloring pictures from my grandson? Yes, Desiree, you can. And let me put it so Miss Wilma would love that. Here is my my address there. There you go. So you can just type Bishop James Long, P.O. Box 754. And the ministry's address is in Lebanon Junction, Kentucky, 40150. That's where I pick up the mail for the ministry. So it's a P.O. Box 754, Lebanon Junction, 2 words, Kentucky, 40150. All right, Miss Wilma, that's very nice. What do you have
I
for?
want to thank you for that, hon. That is so sweet, and I'll always cherish that picture that you're going to give me.
All right, what do you have?
Okay.
What do you have for a movie review?
My movie tonight is Summer Magic by Haley Mills and Peter Brown. It's on Disney.
Okay.
A widow mom moves with her 3 kids in the town in Maine. A postmaster sets there up in an empty house. That's not it. Their niece moves in, Julia, but she's not so likable. And meanwhile, not getting along with all of them, the postman helps them paint the house and fix things up, knowing it's not his. Now, I don't give it away. They all get into all kinds of trouble, especially when the real owner, Mr. Hamilton, shows up. This is a great movie. It's called Summer Magic on Disney Plus.
Well, very, very good. Well, thank you for being here with us this on this beautiful
I'm glad
Saturday.
I got to be on, and thank you again for that picture, sweetheart. And
Yeah.
I hope everyone does have a great night, and I love all of you, and God bless.
And we'll see you tomorrow night for our Bible study.
Yes.
All right.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
All right, everybody. That's Miss Wilma. We appreciate her jumping on and chatting with us. She'll be here tomorrow, of course, for Bible study. So we appreciate that very, 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 very much. So thank you, Miss Wilma, for willing to jump on. And it's always nice to have her and tell some stories and chat with us a little bit. She has been a real trooper. Let me tell you, this whole entire week, we've been on Monday through Friday, every day, doing Bible study, and she has been right there with us. And even when she was hit, for those of you who don't know, Miss Wilma is 69. I've known her for about 26 years, and she has multiple sclerosis. She's in heart failure. She has a pacemaker. She has cellulitis. She struggles to walk. She has a lot of health issues, and she was hit. She was in the scooter at Walmart, and some lady had a big old thing, I don't know what, in the cart, and this woman was just taking off like a jet down the aisle, wasn't paying attention, and she hit Miss Wilma right in her ear. I mean, hit her hard. And Miss Wilma had to go to the hospital. Ultimately, she had to go to the doctors because it was bothering her so much. And I asked her, I said, well, do you want to just not do the Bible study and I'll just do it by myself? She says, no. She said, I know there might be kids watching and I don't want to cancel. So that she jumped right back in. And that was pretty special that she did that. So she was a real trooper. It's hard doing Bible study Monday through Friday every single day. That takes a lot of work. So we appreciate her doing that. Your Facebook page not working? Oh, well, Patrick, what you could do also, if it's not working on Facebook for whatever reason, you can also watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on, type in just Bishop James Long, all one word, on Twitter, Bishop J, the letter J Long. And we're now on Rumble. So, folks, here's what I want you to do. Make sure, please, you go, Catherine, I don't know why you're doing that. Please stop. So make sure, Catherine, I'm going to have to end up blocking you, and I don't want to do that. Stop. It's really disrespectful what you're doing. See, I don't know why you would do that. And there's no reason for you to put that like 8 times. It's just so disrespectful. I just don't understand it. There's no reason to spam. But anyway, you can watch it on Rumble. So, and Rumble, I'm running it out. We're airing the stream now on Rumble, and we will be. It is disrespectful that's called spamming. It is disrespectful because what it does is it causes the chat to lag. So when you keep posting the same thing over and over and over like you did, then it lags the chat. So yeah, it is. So please stop. Can we please just, okay. I have now banned you. Goodbye. That's easy as that. I'm not going to put up with that. So she's banned. She's now banned on YouTube. Yeah, people. Well, no, it's not on. It wasn't on TikTok. It was actually on YouTube. And anyway, yeah, people just they got to be rude, don't they? They have to be rude. They just have to. Well, someone was spamming. They were just constantly spamming and causing the chat to lag, and people kept telling them to stop, and they kept doing it. So, all right, yeah, even on the Holy Week, people still got to be. Some people, what are you going to do? Listen to this. And by the way, if you have questions regarding the paranormal, I may be happy to answer. And because this is open mic night. And now tomorrow we're going to be here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to be doing Bible study because it's Easter. And then after Bible study is over, then if you have any questions regarding any topic, there you go. why you need to subscription TikTok. So someone's asking, why do you have to subscribe to TikTok? Well, you don't have to, because I just open it up. As a matter of fact, now everybody can chat with us in the sub chat. And here's why we do this. In the beginning, anytime when I do a presentation, I always put subscriber chat only. So usually for Bible study, I do that for the first hour. And here's why. The trolls were getting so nasty and really vulgar. I mean, I'm talking extremely vulgar, even during Bible study. And it just got to the point where it's like, that's enough. That is enough. So the only way to fix that is to put subscriber chat only for the first hour. And then people can interact with me. I can interact with them. But then I open it up, as I just did. So now everybody can chat on TikTok. But for the first hour, normally I always put subscriber chat only on TikTok, because then the trolls can just go away. But this is what you have to do. You have to do it. And until TikTok fixes that problem, this is the only way we can fix it. So I have Robert. I performed I say 30, but technically I 31. So 31 exorcisms in over 20 years. I appreciate the Lorraine. Yeah, but people do. So it's like, okay, you know. What was my scariest moment? Probably the first exorcism that I performed, and also at the Gates of Hell Cemetery. The Gates of Hell Cemetery, by the way, make sure, yeah, 32 if you count YouTube. It's good. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel, because I am going to be working on several really cool projects, and I'm excited, really excited about it. But you got to go to my YouTube. You got to go to my YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe. It's free. And it's going to be like documentaries, and it will only air there because it'll be like 30 minutes long. So type in Bishop James Long, all one word, and you will see. Yep. I don't have anything yet because I've been waiting for this weather to cooperate so I can get outside, because I want to get to the Gates of Hell Cemetery and do a presentation. And so that's the goal. So make sure you go to, it's just all one word, Bishop James Long, all one word. Okay. And make sure you subscribe. Do I have any extras? Oh, I would never. There's no way. I would never, ever, ever put an exorcism that I have performed on camera. Never. That's sacrilegious. I think that's blasphemy. And I think anybody who does that should be ashamed of themselves. Oh, thank you. Oh, Ellie, that's very sweet. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ellie. No, I don't like it. And here's why. You know, the solemn rite of exorcism is very private. Thank you, guys. That should not be seen as a form of entertainment, because that's sacrilegious. And not only that, but a person has gone through, well, thank you, Missy. Thank you. You guys, thank you. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, my friends on TikTok are offering gifts to the ministry, and so I'm thanking them, so I appreciate that. But, you know, if your family member is possessed, that is a process, and it's a deterioration of the body, of the mental. I mean, it's an attack on the whole entire person. And it's incredibly traumatic. And then you have a clergy coming over performing an exorcism on the person who's possessed, and they put it on YouTube just to get likes and subscribers. I think that is an abomination. I would never want that to be done to any of my family members. I wouldn't want it done to me. And there's no way that I would ever do it to anybody else. As a matter of fact, I was, thank you, Sherry. I was, and I talked about this before. Well, thank you, Missy. These guys are, thank you. I was doing a presentation, and it was at a paranormal conference, and I had a phone with me, and normally I didn't answer, but I answered this phone. There was a room full of people, and they said, "Is this Bishop Long?" I said, "Yes, it is." And they said, "My name is so and so with this network, And because I saw it, it said the caller ID said the network, and they said, I'm with this network. We have a show that's been greenlit. Greenlit means it's already been approved. It's ready to go to film. And Missy, that's amazing. Thank you very much. It's really pretty. They're sitting, when they send gifts, it pops up like a picture or something. It's really cool. And so they said, all you got to do is perform an exorcism on camera. So an exorcism on a person. Yes. And they go, well, wow, Bill, you guys are on fire. Thank you. And they said, yes, that's all you have to do. I thought, that is the most terrible thing in the world. Say, we'll guarantee you an X amount of episodes, and even with what we'll name as a producer, because if you're a producer, instead of just talent, you get a lot more money. And then I gave them a piece of my mind. So don't ever call me again. Because that's just wrong. So no, I would never, ever, ever. Are they filmed? Yes, they are filmed for legal reasons, because of the person expires, they have a heart attack or stroke. It does show that we have someone who's medically trained, monitoring the vitals, that we're following everything that we can. We're not putting any harm on the person. We have to. But there's no way I would ever, under no circumstances, would I do this and film it for television. I just wouldn't do it. Well, you know what, Fiverr, you don't know how I would be an exorcist? I can, Patrick, and so can you. Patrick says, can you sense evil? Yeah, and so can you. At first, I was. So, folks, again, I'm answering a question. So if I answer questions, I'm not looking at the chat, because then I get distracted. Okay, yeah, there are red heifers there, but I don't fall into that. I don't get so caught up. We'll talk about that in a second. So the first exorcism that I performed, I was the assistant. I wasn't the primary. And I had studied exorcisms. I had studied the rite. I had studied what could happen. And I was prepared for that. I think from an educational perspective, thank you, Jane. From an educational perspective, an intellectual perspective, I was prepared. But I think from an emotional, it's a different world. So we went in there, and the person, she was a girl, and there's a part in the rite where I lift the eyelids to see where she is in the transition of possession. And by the way, so I talked about this case on Eli Roth Presents Legion of Exorcists. Thank you. The Eli Roth Presents Legion of Exorcists show that was on the Travel Channel and HBO Max. We did one season. Everybody wishes we could do 2 seasons, but right now we just haven't heard anything. But I lift the eyelids, and they were solid black. But it was a blackness that it was like a mirror. And when I lift the eyelids, I looked, and I could see my reflection. And at that time, I couldn't move. I was completely catatonic. I absolutely catatonic. I could not move. I couldn't think. I couldn't even say. I couldn't talk. And thankfully, the primary then pulled me back. He did a blessing, and we continued with the rite. But that was the one time where she was laying down here, and that was the only time I actually seen a levitation. It was like someone had put a rope around her waist and just lifted her up this way. And so she's facing up, and she just lifted up just like that. And I even heard her vertebrae crack, and I was afraid that she had broken her back. She threw the voice as well. So when she's screaming, the demonic will throw its voice, and that basically is to cause confusion, especially with the exorcist, because when you throw the voice, it's like if you go on YouTube and type in 8D surround sound, that's what it's like. So you'll hear it over here behind you and over here, and then on top, and so it's kind of like all around, and it disorients you. Well, thanks, Charlene, for following me on Rumble. And it disorients you. And so you have to silence the voice. So I think the first exorcism was probably the one that kind of made me realize all the parlor tricks that a demon will do to try to trip you up, to try to confuse you. And you can read about it until you're blue in the face, but until you're actually there, it's a different world. Different world. And the Gates of Hell Cemetery, I actually named it. I'm the one that named the Gates of Hell Cemetery. Nobody even knew it existed. It was over 20 years ago. And because I've been in the paranormal community. The first time I investigated was 35 years ago. And when I was in the paranormal community, there were no Facebook, there was no MySpace, there was no YouTube. It was strictly Yahoo groups. That's it. That is it. Well, thank you, Master Matt. It was only Yahoo groups. And so we did an online radio show, and that's when online radio show was in its infancy. And we went to this place because it was an old abandoned cemetery in Kentucky. Nobody even knew it existed in the paranormal community. Oh, beautiful, Missy. Thank you for that. You guys are amazing. Thank you for these. And so when we went there to investigate, because we wanted to bless it, because people were desecrating the ground. I mean, it was crazy. It was unbelievably violent. What we captured was just, and we went right back on the radio the night before, the night afterward. I say, man, this is like the gates of hell. And that is how the cemetery got its name, the Gates of Hell in Kentucky. And so it's Yahoo groups. It was crazy, but that's how we communicated. And so, and I talked about the Gates of Hell when I did Ghost Adventures and the History Channel, the National Geographic. Then I was on, and so I talked about that experience as well. So that really is how it got its name. And so I'm going to go there. And I am going to do a presentation. I'm going to do a documentary on it and what I experienced. And I'm going to show you the spots where I was, what happened during this time, what I saw, what I experienced. And that's going to be really looking forward to that. So, and Lori, it's quite possible. No, Susie Wu, have you ever regretted your avenue of calling? No. I've never regretted it because it's a calling. It's not something that I've ever chose. I did not choose this. I knew at 5 years old I wanted to be a priest. And I knew at 9 years old I began reading books on demonology. And so that passion only grew. It didn't stop. It just continued and continued. And so I still read every single day. So, well, as far as the types of demons, really you can determine by the activity. I've had incubus and succubus cases. The incubus and succubus cases are incredibly violent. All the cases are violent, but the incubus and succubus cases are quite aggressive. Yeah, pretty terrible. I would say probably that was the one incubus case that I had was probably one of the most violent ones. Well, because she was 68 years old, and the incubus and succubus will attack someone on a sexual nature, but what it is, so when they attack you, it's not actually having relations with that person; it's a manipulation of the muscles. And when she was 68 years old, the case that I'm referring to, and I grew to love her. She was like a grandma. She was a wonderful woman, wonderful. And we're the only team in the entire world that actually has an incubus that on video, where you can actually see the bed sheets rise and fall and rise and fall. And it was a pretty violent case. And she described them as bed walkers, 3 10-pound bed walkers walking towards her on the bed. She could feel it. She could feel them walking towards her and then holding her down. But when she got involved, I got involved with the case because she was in the hospital. And her family and even doctor contacted me and said, "Look, we have no medical explanation for this. Thank you for subscribing." And oh, that's nice, Bill. Thank you for doing that. Oh, Bill, that's very nice of you. And so it was violent. It was really violent. Wow, Bill. So Bill is really rocking and rolling with the subscriptions. Yeah. Well, there was 3. I've done 3 documentaries with the Booth brothers, and so you might want to look up Google the Booth brothers, and I was in the show as a cast member called Eli Roth Presents Legion of Exorcists, and so we did 1 season, and that was on Travel Channel on HBO Max. Oh, by the way, everybody, I will be in Arkansas Paranormal Expo. Oh, well, thank you there, Patrick. Oh, I tell you, well, the internet trolls are certainly influenced, I believe, because some of the things that people say and attack people online, that is no question influenced by the demonic, because it is just vulgar. But let me tell you real quick, I'll be at the Arkansas Paranormal Expo, October 26th and the 27th of this year. So I couldn't go last year, but I will be going this year. And I'll be bringing several items with me. I'll be bringing John Wayne Gacy paintings. I will also be bringing in the frames that I have of Dahmer's glasses. People collect these things, and then they bring them home, and then activity starts in the home. Well, thank you. And then violent activity occurs, and they want to know why. So I'll be bringing several original John Wayne Gacy paintings, as well as the doll that is featured on the Legion of Exorcists show. So I'll be bringing that as well, and I'll be giving a presentation. So if you're interested, again, here's the website. It's ArkansasParanormalExpo.com. I have seen Nefarious. Yeah, it's great movie. ArkansasParanormalExpo.com. And make sure you get your tickets because they're going to have a lot of really cool people there who's going to be giving presentations. And I'll be there. I'll be giving a presentation, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. So, and what I love about this is a fundraiser for the MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History. It's listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's the birthplace of General Douglas MacArthur. So basically, the point is to raise funds to help preserve this beautiful building. So I'm really excited about that. So make sure you go, though. If you can go, thank you, Bill. If you can go, please do. Just type in Arkansas Paranormal Expo. And yep, I'll be there. Looking forward to it. It is a beautiful building. Yeah. Okay, and keep in mind, folks, I have several chats open now. So I promise you I'm not ignoring you. I just have two different computer screens that I'm trying to look at. So I have Spreaker. People are sending me message on instant messages. I have Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Rumble here. And then I have TikTok here. So I have a lot of chats going on. So I'm doing the best I can. I promise you. Because when people talk about visions of NDEs, about Jesus or angel, they are spoken by the voice of the... Okay, let me just say something about... well, of course, near-death experiences are pretty amazing. People were asking about sleep paralysis. Folks, let me say something because I think it's important. Sleep paralysis does not mean it's always demonic. There's a lot of people spreading false information out there, and they're not trained in demonology, and I wish they would stop spreading this misinformation. So let me explain that. Sleep paralysis is very common. And what happens, and I had a neurosurgeon on the show, and I interviewed him. So let me give you an idea. What happens is when you're going to sleep, the subconscious is controlling the brain, the functions of the brain, the breathing, etc. And the subconscious is the part where you dream. So if for some reason you are startled and the subconscious has controlled the functions of the brain, and you're startled for whatever reason, and you kind of wake up, but you're in that dream state, and let's say you're having a nightmare. Well, the subconscious will project that image that you were dreaming. And many times you see the old hag syndrome, where you see either a witch or a monster or whatever it might be, and you can't move because you're completely catatonic. It's scary. It usually lasts for 30 seconds, and it's truly terrifying. But or it also happens when you're either going to sleep or when you're waking up. Now, if you only have those episodes and you have nothing else going on in your home, so religious objects are not desecrated, you're not hearing bangs of three, you're not smelling sulfur or rotten flesh, if you have no other activity occurring, then folks, you are experiencing a natural phenomenon that many people do experience, and it's called sleep paralysis. And sometimes it can. Sometimes it can last the 30 minutes. There is called intermittent sleep paralysis, which is also known as ISP. And there's also called recurrent isolated sleep paralysis. And now recurrent happens quite often. Now, he did say that if you do have sleep paralysis and it's often, you really should get tested for narcolepsy. And that, again, that's what the neurosurgeon said. So I'm just passing on that information. Okay. Oh, you're going? Oh, that's great, Misty. That'd be wonderful. I'd love to see you there. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. I'm not scheduled for any other conference. Not that I'm saying that I wouldn't, but I just been out of the whole paranormal conference. You know, I have been out of that for a bit, primarily because of COVID. But and so I haven't really been engaging much, and I really like to get back into it because I get to meet a lot of people. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is a passion. This is something that and let me just, people can say whatever they want to say. And here's the deal. I have never charged 1 penny for blessings. I have never charged 1 penny for the exorcisms that I performed. I don't charge going to people's homes to perform blessings. And I don't get a salary from the church for being a bishop. What I do this 100% free, 100%. And sure, I could charge. And well, thank you. And someone told me, James, if you just start charging, for exorcisms, you could get easily $5,000 in exorcism. But I just don't believe in that. I just don't, because people are already stressed as it is. And then they throw a price tag on it. And also, I don't do it because then people can't attack the reasons that I'm doing this. So see, if I start charging $5,000 for an exorcism, then people can say, aha, that's why you're doing this ministry. I don't charge. You're doing it for fame. You do things for fame so you can make a lot of money. So if I don't make a lot of money, then fame doesn't do anything. So this is why no one can ever question the intention. Never. And that's why I don't associate with anybody who does charge, and I don't. And none of the teams that I work with charges. So that's I guess the rule that I've set a long time ago. Okay. I agree. We do need to win the lottery. Let's see. If you watch on YouTube, oh, hold on. I got to do this little puzzle because I've been on for more than an hour. There we go. If you watch on YouTube a person getting an exorcism, can that spirit jump into the person watching? First of all, don't do it. That's number one. Nobody should ever perform an exorcism on camera and post it and do a live video. Don't even associate, folks, please. Do not even associate. Robert, there's a lot of people asking questions. I just explained I have 2 different computers running at the same time. I have Facebook, YouTube, I have Twitter, I have Rumble, I have Spreaker, I have Messenger, and I have here. I have a lot of people asking questions. But do not fall into the trap of ever supporting anybody who performs an exorcism on camera. Don't do it. Stay away from it. Don't even go down the road. Just don't. So, Robert, what's your question? Because I can't stop the show. I'm doing the best I can. I've got multiple chat rooms open. So, hold on, because there's more people asking questions while I'm waiting for Robert. See, this is the problem. When you stop a show, I can only do so much. No, it's okay, Patrick. Just go ahead and ask the question. Yeah, the ghost apps, some of them I think are pretty cool, but I think others are not. I can't bring you on, guys. I can't bring you on. Thank you. Come on, you got to ask the question because I can't. I got people asking questions everywhere. So what's the question? Oh, well, thank you there, Crux. Thank you. It's very nice. Thank you. Yeah, I believe so, Claire. They can. Okay, I got to move on. Okay. I mean, I can only wait for so long. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but see, this happens all the time. And I'm not saying you're doing that, Robert, but what people do is you didn't answer my question, and then I'll stop the entire show, and I wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, and they never ask the question. And that's not cool. So I can't, All right. Well, if your dream come true, some have. Some have. Across detached. Mercedes, I don't know. That could be, that's, it could also be someone in a dream state doing it without even knowing that they're doing it. No, Desiree, I did not see the question about, see, there's gosh, it's too much, it's too many questions. Did you see the question about your demonology course? No. Oh, narcissism is quite dangerous. And there's a lot of narcissism in this world. There's a lot of narcissistic personality disorders where people think, well, I give you my opinion. Well, I'm sorry, but you know what? My life doesn't revolve around your opinion. So it just kind of, I think attachments are not good. I would stay away from attachments completely. I don't want anything attached to me except for the Holy Spirit. That's just the way it is. Elementals are very interesting. My grandmother was she was a Native American. And I knew Willie. I know Willie Windwalker Gibson. He's a shaman. He's a great guy. And I got to tell you, elementals are spirit animals, spirit nature, spirits. And one of the things that I have found is that when I had one case, there was an elemental where they were destroying the habitat and they had a lot of activity in their home. And I went to a shaman and said, what do I do? And the shaman said, tell them to restore the habitat and the activity will stop. That's exactly what I told them to do. They did, and it stopped. So we can debate all day long about those issues, but I still think that was pretty cool. It did work. Well, thank you. What? And saying you are above other people, only way I believe you can be a Christian. I don't understand. See, Robert, I don't understand. Is with Jesus that God's called Christian? Okay, before Christian, after. Okay. Yeah, I'm a Christian. Is that what you're asking? If I'm a Christian? Yeah. Okay. Are there any? Okay, now, Robert, I now want you to know I'm stopping everything to answer your questions. And I don't do this often, so because a lot of people ask that just to purposely stop the entire show. I'm saying, are there any Christian people on earth? I don't understand. I don't understand the question. Are there any Christian people on earth? You'll have to help me understand the question. I don't know. I think there are Christians, if that's what you're asking. Say, when people say I'm a Christian, are they Christians? Are they Christianity? Well, yeah, we have no right to judge anybody, whether or not, if they tell you, here, what is a Christian? A Christian says that I believe that Jesus Christ is my personal Lord and Savior, and that my job is to be as loving and compassionate to as many people as I possibly can. And they put you above other people. They should never. Oh, no. I don't want anyone putting me above anybody. But a Christian cannot sin. Well, Robert, that is absolutely absurd. If a Christian cannot sin, then there will be no need for the crucifixion. There's no need for it. If we are sinless, then we are God. We are not God. We are sinful beings, and that's the whole point of having a Savior. So, I answered 4 or 5 of your questions, so we're moving Because, see, you have to understand, someone's asking about the Messiah, and it's in Jesus' time, why they didn't accept him. Because remember, their idea of a Messiah would be one to overthrow the Roman Empire. And even the disciples and even Judas believed that is what the Messiah would do. And then Jesus comes on the scene and says, no, you have it all wrong. That's not what the Messiah is supposed to do. So it's supposed to lay your life down for others. And people are like, what are you talking about? That's not what Messiah is supposed to be. And so there was just confusion. And so I think Jesus had to reteach the disciples and said, this is what the real purpose of the Messiah is. Do not worship false idols. I agree. We're born sinners and we have been given the opportunity to repent. Amen. That's absolutely correct. And you should absolutely not worship false idols. I agree with that 1,000,000%. No, sleep paralysis, it can be a form of, it can lead to possession, but no, sleep paralysis is also a very common issue that many people suffer from that has nothing to do with possession. Nothing. And I get really, really frustrated when a lot of people go around saying, oh, you have sleep paralysis. That's demon. No, it's not. That is not. That's why I said that if you have sleep paralysis, and if it's demonic, you're going to have other issues as well that certainly affect sleep paralysis, but you're going to have other issues as well. Well, okay. Well, see, here's a lot of people ask about Cain's wife. We know that there were other people that I absolutely am convinced of that, other tribes. And there's no doubt about that. And I don't believe that Cain had relations with Eve at all. And so, okay. And yeah, there's plenty logical explanation or arguments for the existence of God. I can't, Patrick, it's difficult, buddy. I'm telling you, it is because I got here and here and here. But I do the best I can. Do you come across people seeing hallucination due to drugs can be prescribed? How do you differentiate, I guess, between that? Well, and possession. Well, that's one of the things that we do require. When we have background checks on an individual who says that they are possessed, we want to make sure we're going to find out what type of medication that they're taking, because some medication, thank you very much, some medication can cause you to hallucinate. And so we have to know this. But I mean, even if you're taking drugs, even if you're taking any type of prescription medication, that will not cause you to levitate. It will not cause you to have the ability of prognostication or retrocognition. It will not have the ability to have you to be able to throw a voice in which it's like 8D surround sound. So there are things that a person who's possessed will do that clearly demonstrate that has nothing to do with mental illness. Thank you, Father Joseph. Thank you. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you being here. But yeah, we absolutely, there's a lot of people out there. Well, there is no proof that God exists. Well, yeah, you can actually argue logically there absolutely, most certainly is logical proof for the existence of God. Jesus Christ was not married. He did not have, he was not married to Mary Magdalene. He did not have children. That is just an absurd argument to sell a book and sell a movie. First of all, we do know that we have lineage. The historians would have absolutely written, if Jesus was married and certainly had kids, we would have seen genealogy of this. There's nothing at all in any of the historians from non-Christian writers that demonstrate that Christ was married, thank you, or that he had children. There's nothing there, even from non-Christian historical writers. So the idea that Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene or had children, to me, is absolutely absurd. It's just preposterous. And again, people do that. I think they're doing that for the sole purpose of reducing Jesus' divinity. And we see this every year. We see this every year. People do this. Well, you're talking about Yeshua, but there's different different names. Joshua, Yeshua, Jesus, Yahweh, Adonai. I mean, it depends on see, again, you're getting so caught up in linguistics. Just because one Yeshua or Joshua is pronounced, or Jesus, we understand the intent and what we're saying. And I think we get far too I'm just overwhelmed by, well, that name is not, Adonai is not correct, or Yahweh is not correct, or Jesus or Joshua or Yeshua. We know what we're talking about. So how you translate that in the culture, it, to me, quite honestly, is irrelevant. The fact is we know what we're talking about, and that's the most important thing. David is God, David is not God. Okay. I think Robert means that we are Christian. We are that we're Christians called before Jesus passed, but waited for Jesus and followed. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I just did a presentation on the Shroud of Turin. I did that yesterday, and I'm absolutely convinced, 100%, that the Shroud of Turin is legitimate. I'm not going to do the presentation again because it took about 45 minutes to do. But yes, you can watch. You can go on my YouTube page or my Facebook page and watch the presentation yesterday. Oh, thank you. I have never been to Canada. No, I've never been to Canada. Well, see, it depends. It depends there, Alexander, as far as elementals. Depends on who you're talking to as far as are they evil. There are, I know shamans that will say absolutely not. They are there for the sole purpose of protecting the nature. So there are, depending on who you speak with, they can cause havoc. I haven't had a lot of elemental cases, but I've had a few. And when you destroy the habitat, it does seem that there's activity there. But once you restore that habitat, the activity seems to decrease. Now, what that means, I don't know. So you can, I guess, come to your own conclusion. But that's what I have found. That's right, Mercedes. On the ark, no, but they certainly they have AB positive of blood. Human DNA on the Shroud of Turin. A messenger of God? Oh, sure. Yeah. I don't believe, see, I'm not a big, Lorraine, I'm not a big fan of reincarnation. I'm just not a big fan of that. I'm just not. Well, and that's primarily because reincarnation, here's the purpose of reincarnation is so that you can reach the ultimate stage of nirvana, I guess, or whatever term that you want to refer to. But the problem is if you don't know the mistakes that you made in your previous life, then you're doomed to repeat them again in this life. And that's kind of doesn't make sense to me. And to be really blunt, after I pass away in this life and I'm in the presence of God, why would I want to come back? That really doesn't make sense at all. That to me, that is so perplexing. If I am standing in the presence of God and God says, welcome home, I'm not going to say, excuse me, God, let me turn around and let me go back and live this life again where it's difficult, it's hard, you worry about money, you worry about stress, you lose family. You have to, what? No. Because the ultimate goal of my existence is to be with God. That's my ultimate goal. And if I'm standing in front of the pearly gates of heaven and they say, come home, come in. I'm not going to say, oh, shut the gates, I'm going to go back. Makes no sense. No sense. Why is Jesus referred to as the son of David? He was directly descended from King David of Israel. In the New Testament, it's highlighted that Jesus' genealogy can be traced back to King David through Joseph, who was Jesus' earthly father. So though Jesus was conceived by the Holy Spirit, keep that in mind. So calling Jesus the son of David is a way to emphasize his lineage, to fulfill prophecy. Because the Messiah, because it was believed that certainly in that time and even in prophecy that the Messiah would come from the line of David. Oh yeah, absolutely, Father Jason. You're heading back to Colombia. Absolutely. Yeah, stay safe. Definitely stay safe. Everybody, definitely keep Father Jason in your prayers. So that's why I don't understand. That's why I don't understand. I don't get it. I just, the whole idea of reincarnation, just to do this all over again. Why? Well, no, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. If when I get to heaven, they say come in, that's it. Well, yeah, this is a school. That's right, and the goal is to pass the grade so I can get into heaven. That's it. I broke a crucifix by falling into a wall, and from it, no luck. No. See, I don't believe in there's the false cause analogy. I'm not a big fan of luck and things of this nature. I just don't. I don't necessarily believe in all that. I think you had an accident, and I certainly don't think because you broke a crucifix by accident you're being punished by that. I certainly don't agree with that. Now that'd be different if it was desecration, purposeful desecration. Now that's different. But you had an accident, so to me, I don't buy into. I'm young. No, I'm not young. I'm in my 50s, but I appreciate the thought. I wish I was in my 20s. It would be nice. It would be nice to get to be back to my 30s. I would love that. I would love to be back, 25. There we go, 25. That would be nice. But no, it goes by so fast. It goes by so fast. It's crazy. It's crazy. Catholicism is false. Pope is false witness. Well, okay, that's your opinion. That's fine. You're entitled to that. I will pray for you and your work. Definitely pray for Father Jason. You act 25 years. Well, there we go. I appreciate that, Patrick. Thank you. Thank you, Missy. Oh, yeah. What about the gay people who feel abandoned by the church? I get very, very upset when I hear people using the Old Testament to judge a group of people in which they are complete and total hypocrites because they don't follow the holiness code. I find it appalling that any I don't care who it is, any preacher that stands in the pulpit and preaches Leviticus and yet they don't follow all 613 laws. You see, that's hypocrisy. Jesus did not like hypocrites. That's exactly what Pharisees were. Because what they did is they would judge other people and hold people to an account because the people were not following all 613 laws of the holiness code, and the Pharisees themselves were not doing it either. And Jesus knew it, and he called them hypocrites, and that's why he didn't like a brood of vipers. I get appalling. I'm appalled that people will cherry pick from the Old Testament. And first of all, they have no idea what they're preaching. That's number one, because they have no historical idea. They have no historical education on what it even meant. But even more, they're using this as a condemnation tool, and I find it really revolting that anybody would do this. So, isn't it fascinating that so many people will judge a group of people using the holiness code under the old covenant? I don't understand why they can't get it through their heads. We're no longer under the old covenant. Jesus made it that abundantly clear. We are under the new covenant, which is to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and body, and to love your neighbor as yourself. So this whole idea of judging people using the old covenant actually shows a complete, total lack of education when it comes to theology, a total lack of theology, and rather using the Bible as a scare tactic, as a hate tool. I find it truly appalling, repugnant. That they will do this, that they cherry pick, but yet they're going to judge a group of people, and because you're not following all 613 laws, well, neither are you, hypocrite. Neither are you. And do you know why it said that in Leviticus? No, I don't, because it just says, no, obviously you're a clown and you don't have any idea what you're talking about. So I'm not going to waste my time having an education conversation with you, because obviously it would be quite difficult to do that, because your two brain cells would be in overload. So I don't waste time for people like that. Jesus did exist, but okay, deny historical records of secular Rome. Yeah, certainly. Jesus existed, and there's historical documentation from non-Christian writers that clearly established Jesus existed. I mean, truly, anybody who says that Jesus did not exist, they are absolutely asinine, and they have the education maybe of a 2-year-old. I mean, even a devout atheist who are at least trained in history will tell you there absolutely are historical documentation from non-Christian sources that says, yes, Jesus of Nazareth existed. I mean, I don't understand. But that's trolls. The trolls are going to say that. The trolls are going to always say it. Yeah. No matter what you say, to them, some people are just like, oh, boy, bless your little heart. Bless your little heart. There was one troll. They just going off. There's no historical documentation. And I just gave them a list of the historical documentation that shows that there actually were writings of Jesus of Nazareth from non-Christian sources. And he still said, well, that's still not Christian. That's still not historical documentation. And I said, I just explained to you, I gave you 8 examples from non-Christian writers who wrote about Jesus of Nazareth. And I even give you the books. I even gave you where you could find them. Well, that doesn't mean anything. And then I just said, have you considered suing your brains for non-support? I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Oh, yeah, I have trolls everywhere. Yeah. I've read the Quran. Yeah, I tell the trolls, keep talking. I always yawn when I'm interested. Really, seriously. Well, thank you. Is it any different from the Bible? I mean, it is, certainly. Yeah. Okay. People are asking me questions on Messenger, folks. I appreciate that, but I keep in mind I've got to look at multiple chats here. Well, Palm Sunday is actually it's a beautiful. I think it's a beautiful celebration. It obviously it commemorates Jesus' triumphal entry to Jerusalem, and the significance of the palms. It actually lies in the fact that according to the Gospels, crowds of people spread palm branches on the road as Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. That act symbolizes the people's recognition as Jesus as the Messiah and their willingness to honor him as their King of Israel. And so it's fascinating how it just, they flipped the switch so quickly. And of course, you could argue, going into the temple and overturning the tables and taking a whip and forcing the people to get out, that probably didn't make them too happy. But yeah, there's plenty of I think there's absolute plenty of logical explanation for the existence of God. I'm not leaving. For those of you who are on Spreaker, I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. I just do this because it's easier. It's just one more program that I don't have to worry about. So let me close out Spreaker because it's much easier to. There's too many chat boxes open right now. Okay. Actually, I don't get paid as clergy. I don't get paid 1 penny for being a bishop of the church. This is 100%. This ministry is 100% free. So I receive no paycheck, and I never charge for my ministry. I never charge for blessings. I do it all for free. I don't have anyone in the UK, no. Oh, well, thank you there, GA. Tormented in my sleep? No, I've never been tormented in my sleep, but I certainly have been tormented when I'm awake. Or at least the trolls, think that they're tormenting me. But nah. I think it's rather sad if you really think about it, that on a Saturday night they have nothing better to do than to go into clergy's live and harass them. And like I said, I think I have a boring life. I do believe, yeah, Chris, I believe that there are people who have prophetic dreams. Yeah, I certainly do believe that. Never been to Ireland. Nope. I've never been. Of course, it'd be interesting to go though, because my mom has. Well, we have Irish blood, so I think many people do. Yeah, we've talked a lot about the proof, the logical proof of the existence of God. So. Okay. No, we don't need to do that. Close that. Okay. Oh, you've had a lot? That's interesting. Well, I absolutely. Someone's asked. Well, we talked about the Bible being reliable. Yes, I absolutely. There's a lot of stuff going on right now saying that the Bible is not reliable, that you can't really trust it, that it is inaccurate. Folks, this is simply not true. It's just not true. And this is a purposeful misinformation, again, to try to discredit the scripture. And because people say there are 400,000 differences between the ancient manuscripts that the English Bible are translated from. So say if there are 400,000 differences, then how can we possibly trust the Bible and that it's accurate? Well, that's a fair question. That is a fair question. But here's the issue with this. If we assume that each manuscript page has only a mere 10 words, that would mean that of all of those 400,000 differences, that these 2.5 million pages of Greek text are actually 98.4% similar. So for those of you who want to know, there's a biblical scholar. His name is Daniel Wallace. And he noted that of these 400,000 differences, this is why people try to discredit scripture, out of these 400,000 differences, 75% are simply misspelling errors. That's it. 25% are actually word order changes, but it doesn't actually change the meaning of the text. And only less than 1% of these 400,000 differences actually change the real meaning of the text, which means that out of these 2.5 million pages of Greek text, that 99.984% are similar in what they convey. And those are facts. So for those of you who like to attack and say, well, it's just ridiculous. No, I just gave you facts. Yeah, yes, Jesus did fulfill prophecy. Shorty's asking, did Pilate want to condemn Jesus? I don't think Pilate really cared. To be honest with you, I think Pilate, you got to understand, that wasn't really a great job that he had. It wasn't really seen as high ranking as far as the political world. He just didn't want to deal with it. He just wanted to be troubled with it. And I think he was just like, look, I don't think he really cared. And he wasn't obviously a believer in Christ as far as the Messiah. But I don't think that he purposely sought out to crucify a man that he didn't think needed to be crucified. But at the same time, here's the problem. If you are the governor of an area, if you will, and you have an individual running around saying they are the king, then that directly attacks Caesar. Now the Romans, you could not allow that to happen. You would have to squash that immediately. So this is why they kept throwing. He says the king of the Jews, and that threatens Caesar's power. Well, in that case, Pilate had no choice in that case, and he had to do what he had to do to protect Caesar. Otherwise, Pilate could get into trouble. So someone is sending me a message on Messenger, I guess, because they don't want to be on the chat. So they're telling me that Jesus did not fulfill prophecy. Okay, Mr. Sunshine, I have no idea what you are smoking, but you need to put it down. You need to stop, or drinking. That's bad, number one, because obviously you don't know much about biblical prophecy. So allow me to educate you, Mr. I'm not even going to say your name because you don't want to be saying in the chat. In the Protestant Bible, there are 66 books. In the Catholic Bible, there are more. There are 73. Well, thank you. The Bible is written in a 1500 year time span. And 66 books. Let's just take about 66 for the Protestant Bibles. Well, it was written over 40 writers from 3 different continents in 3 different languages. These writers are very diverse, from shepherds to kings, and many of them lived in generations, and they didn't know who wrote the other guy, what they wrote, and they didn't have the internet or Wikipedia back then. But you put all of them together, and magically you get a perfectly harmonized book. And you tell me that's not prophecy or inspired by the Holy Spirit. Do you realize how impossible that is? That's like looking at 40 different writers over the last 1,500 years and saying, write a chapter of a novel and putting the thing together after 1,500 years and having it make sense. But it gets better. Because if you look at the Old Testament, the Protestant Bible has 39 books written over 1,100 years. And the last books in the Old Testament is written 400 years before Jesus was even born. So you get these 39 books written by all these different authors over 1,100 years, and many of them living in different generations. And had no idea what the other guy wrote. And do you know what they did? They made predictions about the Messiah. Things like that Jesus would ride into Jerusalem on a donkey. He would be betrayed by a friend. He would be born in Bethlehem. He'd be called out of Egypt. He'd be sold for 30 pieces of silver. He'd be crucified. They made over 300 predictions, with the last one being made 400 years before Jesus was even born. And guess what? Jesus fulfilled every one of them. Now, for those of you who say, well, that's not prophecy. Well, obviously, I don't know what else to say to you. There was a scientist. His name is Dr. Peter Stoner. And he's an expert in probability. So here's what that means. If I have a 5-gallon paint bucket and I have 9 white tennis balls and I have 1 yellow tennis ball, and I shake them all up and I blindfold somebody and I say, reach in and grab 1 ball, the chance of them picking out that 1 yellow ball is 1 in 10. Well, that's what that is. So Dr. Stoner, he wanted to know, what is the probability that anyone could fulfill these prophecies? So he employs 600 science students, 12 different classes, months of research they did on this. Well, listen to this. It's really cool. And so this is the question they asked. What are the chances that any human being from the time of the birth of Christ until today, could fulfill just eight of those prophecies found in the Old Testament? Just 8. So I'm not answering any questions right now because I'm explaining this. So how could just 8? And they chose these prophecies. Christ is to be born in Bethlehem. It says that in Micah in chapter 5, verse 2. Christ is to be preceded by a messenger. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 3. Malachi chapter 3, verse 1. Christ is to enter into Jerusalem on a donkey. Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. Christ is to be betrayed by a friend. Psalms chapter 41, verse 9 and 55, verses 12 through 14. Christ is to be sold for 30 pieces of silver. That's Zechariah chapter 11, verse 12. The money for which the Christ is to be sold to be thrown to the potter in God's house, Zechariah chapter 11, verse 13. Christ is to be silent before his accusers, which is Isaiah chapter 53, verse 7. And Christ is to be executed by crucifixion as a thief. That's Psalm 22, verse 16. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 10. Isaiah chapter 53, verse 5. So they ask, what's the chance that any human being could fulfill just 8 of these prophecies in 2,000 years? Do you know what the answer is? Mind-blowing. Now, I'm using scientific fact for all those hater gators out there saying, well, there's no problem. The chance of any one man that might have lived down to the present time, to Jesus to the present time, and fulfilled all 8 prophecies is 1 in 10 to the 17th power. Just 8. 1 in 10 to the 17th power. You know what that means? That's 1. And then you have the number 10 with 17 zeros after that. Jesus fulfilled 8 prophecies. I'm not answering any questions because I'm talking about this. So what is that? That's 10 to the 17th power is, again, 10 with 17 zeros behind it. And Jesus fulfilled all 8 prophecies. Well, some people say, well, what about that? Well, okay, what about 16? Just 16 prophecies. Well, the answer is even more astonishing. The chance of one man that could fulfill just 16 prophecies is 1 in 10 to the 45th power. So that's 1 in every 10 with 45 zeros afterwards. What about 48 prophecies? That's 1 in 10 to the 157th power. Are you getting it? Are you getting the point here? In just 48 prophecies, 1 in 10 to the 157th power. That's 10 with 157 zeros after it. Jesus fulfilled 300 prophecies. So don't talk to me about prophecies not being fulfilled. Nope. And that, my friends, is how you squash that little crap. Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. It's very simple. The idea that Jesus fulfilled 300 prophecies, 300 prophecies, 48 prophecies, folks, 10 to the 157th power. And he fulfilled all 300. Mathematically impossible, but he did. Yeah. Are we grading on a curve? Well, yeah, like I said, even and this by chance, that we are all created by chance is preposterous. That is so absurd. I've talked about this before. The single DNA, a single DNA cell within the human body contains so much complex information that one single DNA cell that Carl Sagan compared it to is the equivalent of 100 million pages of Encyclopedia Britannica. That is just one. That's just one small DNA cell. And and that's by chance. Oh, by the way, we have 55 trillion. And they all interact. They all cooperate with one another. If there's a microbiologist said that if one of those 55 trillion cells do not cooperate with the other cells, then it directly affects the human person. And people want to say that we're created by chance. Okay, and the cows jump over the moon. I mean, that's just so stupid. So stupid. So, a mathematician, I understand, Sir Fred Hoyle, stated that if the universe was this by chance theory, just thrown together by chance, then he asked, what would be a chance in billions and billions of years that you could obtain basic enzymes of life by chance? And he's a mathematician, by the way. And he concluded that the possibility would be mathematically impossible. We want to say, yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. You break the intellect and will of the exorcists the demons will try to break the will of the intellect and will of the exorcists. We break the intellect and will of the demon, and we force the demon to surrender to the cross of Christ. Okay. All right. Yeah. Again, if you look at it, the idea, I mean, just the complexity of our planet points to a deliberate designer who not only created the universe, but actually sustains it even today. You have to remember this, folks. You have to just for the hater gators out there who want to, attack God and say, oh, okay, all right, whatever. You have to remember the Earth is perfect in size. And the Earth's size and corresponding gravity holds a thin layer of mostly nitrogen and oxygen gases, only extending about 50 miles, by the way, above the Earth's surface. If the Earth were smaller, an atmosphere would be impossible, like the planet Mercury. If the Earth were larger, the atmosphere would contain free hydrogen, like Jupiter. Earth is the only known planet equipped with an atmosphere, the right mixture of gases to sustain plant, animal, and human life. But that's by chance. Okay. I could go on and on and on and on and on. It's just unbelievably ignorant to think that it's all by chance. Okay. Well, the firmament, a lot of people misunderstand the firmament. Yeah, let me put this down there. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people, and that's all, and that's also used. A lot of people try to say the firmament for the flat Earth. I don't understand this flat Earth. It's like people. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't want to make fun of people. Yeah, I do. I mean, that's just dumb. That's just unbelievably stupid. I actually believe that the Earth is flat. It's just like, okay, I can't even have a conversation with somebody that the Earth is flat, but yet we can look at the heavens. We can see the heavens. We can clearly see that everything else is round except for the Earth. The Earth is going to be the only thing that's flat. Okay, makes sense. It doesn't make sense. Sorry, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, the Earth is flat like a flat tire. I don't know. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, folks? There are some people you can just like, okay, all right, you keep believing that, and good luck to you. I don't necessarily believe that, obviously. I wonder what gave it away. Okay, we are at the end of the church age, Sydney. I guess that's what you're referring to. So I mean, the end of the church age could happen at any moment, and that is true. But certainly the second coming is not happening. We have tribulation. We have the end of the church age occurs first, then you have tribulation, then you have the second coming. Okay. Yeah, again, I want to remind everybody that we are going to be here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Bible study. Yep, we do Bibles, and we're here obviously it's Easter. So hopefully, and I know this is a stupid thing to even think, but hopefully maybe the trolls will just not be hateful. Just maybe on Easter, can we try that? I mean, it would be nice. It would be really nice if we could try to just be kind on Easter, but probably not. Probably not. That might be asking way too much. Way too much. And it's sad, but whatever. No, you really need to have training for an exorcism. You really should not be performing exorcism without having training. Because you have to remember, this is quite dangerous. When someone is possessed, they've gone through extreme trauma. They have psychological, they have spiritual, they have physical trauma, and the body can only sustain so much trauma. And so a person can have a heart attack or stroke. And so this is really dangerous stuff. This is not something that the power of Christ compels you. I mean, that's not the only thing you're doing. You're also worried about the person going into a stroke or going into a heart attack or expiring on you. I mean, that could happen. So this is quite dangerous. And I don't know why people don't quite understand that, but people will continue, and I don't know. You can help as much as you can, but that's yeah. You can send me a message. I'll do the best I can to respond. But I get quite a few questions, but I'll do the best I can. All right. The soul is not possessed. The body is possessed, but the soul is not possessed. A lot of people think that the demon owns, in case like if someone is possessed, do the demons own the soul? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So the body is possessed, but the soul is not. Unless, of course, and yes, you can. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, you can make a deal with the devil. And there have been a lot of people. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing a lot more of that. And here's what's really scary. There's a lot of celebrities that, it used to be kind of quiet and hidden. Well, now they're right in your face. I mean, they're right in your face with this devil worshiping crap. And selling your soul to the devil so that you can make the almighty dollar and become famous is just beyond stupid. But now, I mean, they're right there. It's no longer hidden. It's right there in your face. Now, there was one, I forgot what that idiot guy's name was. They were doing on the Grammys or something. I mean, he was dressed as the devil. I mean, it was just like, good grief. It is just, I forgot what it was. I think it was in the Grammys. But this guy was just, but they're everywhere now. I mean, it's right in your face. Sam Smith. Yeah. I mean, just, it's no longer hiding. It's no longer hiding. I mean, they're just, which I think is shameful. I think, but you know what? They're going to do what they're going to do. And then when they hear the flap of the demon's wings that they've made their vow to, then they're going to realize what they really messed up. I mean, they really messed up, but they do. And so I dumb, stupid. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there that I don't get it, guys. I mean, I understand. I can understand. Look, here's the deal. Some people, I understand, might, they want to be famous. Okay. But I mean, really, to sell that is blasphemy. That is an abomination. And I don't care what anyone says. I absolutely believe that hell exists. And there's a lot of people who say, nope, it does not. And I'm telling you, you are wrong. And Jesus made it very, very clear that hell does exist. And so if you want to sit there and say, I don't agree with it, then you're calling Jesus a liar. And there's a lot of Christians out there that will say, no, that hell doesn't exist. Hell doesn't exist. Well, you know what? Jesus made it very clear that hell does exist. And it's not made up. And there's a lot of people. Oh, no, hell doesn't exist. You don't have to worry. It's, you know what? I'm sorry, but those people really make me nervous. I just don't like that. And I think it's unfortunate that they're spreading that. So I disagree with it firmly, 100%. That's right. Hell exists. I mean, Christ made it very clear that hell does exist. But there's so many people out there that want to, oh, no, you don't have to believe in hell. You don't have to. Okay. No, we don't talk politics in here, guys. We don't do politics in here. And I understand there's some people and I get it. There's a lot of people who are very firm on their beliefs, and I understand that, but we don't do politics here. Is there a way to get everyone to sin? No, because you have free will. So you can choose to sin or not. Yeah, I still have to make videos on TikTok because I haven't done that. Okay, I am going to wrap things up here because I've got to get up early in the morning because tomorrow is Easter and I'm really busy tomorrow morning, obviously. We're going to be here. Thank you very much. We're going to be here, of course, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I will be running the shows live as we see here with you guys. And I'll be here as well. And I believe purgatory exists. But I think purgatory is not so much a form of, I don't think purgatory is scary. I think it's a purging of the stain of sin so that you can unite with a perfect, obviously, a being as in God. So I don't see purgatory as something bad at all. I don't. Okay. Remember, I tell you all the time, TikTok, I'll be with you guys in just a second. Remember, I tell you all the time, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability or refusal to see your worth. You're priceless, and never let anybody tell you or convince you otherwise. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. God bless.